Being a Texan, Tex-Mex is a food that speaks to me personally. It doesn't really have a location or a place. It's not really Texan because it takes from Mexican influence. And it sure isn't Mexican because of how much they changed the cuisine. It has its own category. You don't loop it in with Mexican food, and you don't loop it in with traditional Texan food like barbecue. It's kind of like me. Half Texan, half Paraguayan. And I know that doesn't seem to make sense because I'm clearly not a food, and I am clearly not Mexican. However, I am consistently walking a tightrope of balancing identities and not being able to fit into a category. To my Texan and white side, I am a strange girl who's just a bit different. The black sheep at the family gathering, who, while she grew up around the same people, doesn't feel the same. To my Paraguayan side of the family, I'm American through and through. While I have Paraguayan in my blood, they see me as just another American kid. To other people, I'm just a white girl. I don't look Latina, whatever that means. Often I get struck with weird looks when I claim that I am because of my lighter colored skin and hair and my green eyes. My brother, on the other hand, has dark hair and he's tan and has green eyes, so people didn't often question him, but he got the brunt of most of the teasing when we were younger. So the feelings of inadequacy and alienation struck me as a kid. I remember wearing a poncho in grade school and getting weird looks, crying to my grandma, wondering why people kept asking me what I was wearing and kind of giggling. I remember my brother getting in trouble for punching the kid in the nose, who consistently hurled slurs at him and told him to go swim back across the border. These things all affected me, even though they were tiny, minor tears in the cloth that made up my life. I stopped speaking Spanish as much as possible once I learned people judged my accent more just because I didn't look like their idea of a Latina. I began to not tell people about my heritage unless asked, which, while it makes sense, and I still continue to do so, sometimes I wonder if it's just a part of me hiding because I know the moment that I say it, someone will tell me that I couldn't be that. Eventually, I learned I wasn't alone. I've talked to other kids from multicultural homes who describe the same issues, feeling like we are never enough, like if we embrace one culture, the other will feel betrayed. If we embrace both cultures, we come off as braggy or arrogant. We don't fit in. We don't fit one specific box. However, throughout this, I've learned that eventually we embrace ourselves little by little. We grow back into learning that we are ourselves and that we're different, sure, but it's not a bad thing. For me, I began speaking Spanish more often. I showed pride in my heritage, and while I still feel inadequacy, I know I'm something unique. It doesn't matter if someone is threatened by my existence, if I'm viewed as something gone wrong, if I'm looked at as a type of thing that should never happen because of different backgrounds. I'm me. And that's what matters. Now, if only there was a more Paraguayan American food that I could relate myself to. I'd probably relate myself to a barbecue fusion empanada. But one can dream. Maybe in the future.